Happy Monday, everybody. What is up, man? Hey, it's September and it's super hot. I don't know if any of you are in California right now, but it is super hot. My name is Donnie Baker. I'm with LPR Sound Foundation. Glad you're here. Glad you're with us this week. Hey, man, we're just kicking off studio tour month. Last week we did the intro, kind of, the overall kind of thing, showing you around and show you what's coming. And today I'm excited to bring you this room. This is our podcast studio, and I'm going to bring this to you, show you everything that's in here, show you most of the gear that's in here. Some of the stuff, you don't need to know about cables, things like that. Cables are pretty standard. But I want you to do this. I want you to go, and I'm going to give you the entire gear list. Now, this is the list from the entire studio. So you're going to have Studio B and Studio A on here as well. But there's links to anything that you might find interesting. Like you might want to know more about this Rodecaster Pro 2. There'll be a link there for you, so you can go grab that. Just go to learnprorecording.com/gear list. Get that. Yes, there are a couple of the links that you're going to find in there are affiliate links, but I do let you know which ones are affiliate links. So if you don't mind, and if you're going to buy some of the software or some of the gear that we have, and you want to go click and hook a brother up, I'm not going to be mad at you. So yeah, no, look, it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just that some of the price that you pay on these things come back to help support the studio and of course this channel. So I do appreciate you if you do click in and pick up some of those things. So let's start off with looking at the podcast studio. I'm gonna show you around a little bit. I'll come back and talk to you afterward and see if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. So let's roll the video, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, this is the podcast production studio. I'll show you around real quick. We're going to talk about a bunch of this gear that's in here. Just kind of wanted to walk you in and show you what things are and where things are. This is actually the production system. We're going to get to that in a minute. There's one of the cameras. That's one of the Blackmagic 4Ks. There's a gimbal. There's a bunch of, this is a set kind of, there's a bunch of books and it looks cool, but down below is a bunch of cables and connectors and things like that we use. There's a field recording kit. There's another camera box, boxes of lenses. This is another portable system which we use. There's a Rodecaster, and there's a ATEM switcher on there. This is also another ATEM switcher, which is kind of a portable switcher. It's in a box with a monitor, everything already built in. So let's get in here and talk about some of the gear that we have on our podcast system. This is the live streaming system, which also doubles as a podcast recording. So we will, let's jump in. We'll talk about it. So this would be the podcast streaming system, if you will. This is one of the Rode pod mics, where there's 4 of those in this room. Here's a couple more already on the table ready to go that we did a podcast not too long ago, and I just haven't put them away yet. This table, as is this system, are on wheels, so we can move them to wherever we need them when we need them there. So this will move around. Here's another one of the Blackmagic cameras. This is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K. This has a Canon lens. I believe it's a 17-24, 17-40. If anybody knows what lenses do, that's what that does. So on this desk, we actually have, there's 2 monitors. These are two basic monitors. They don't need to be anything special. The camera that we use on this system, the main camera on this system, is a Panasonic Lumix GH5. The lens on that is the Sigma 16mm 1.4. So you get that, it gives that nice blurry background, the bokeh effect on the background. If we look down here on the desk, there is this is the audio device that we use. This is the Rodecaster Pro 2. And it is very cool. If you guys are not familiar with the Rodecaster, I'm going to put links. I'm going to put together a publication that you can download with links to all the stuff on there. Okay. So there's a laptop which keeps track of whatever we need to keep track of. Right now, the calendar's up on it. Here's another camera which we use with this system. This is a Panasonic G7. Yeah, this is the Panasonic G7 with the same lens, the 16mm Sigma. And yes, we have vinyl.
in case you guys care. That's part of the production system. This system, the production system, can also be, we can also record the podcast there if we absolutely need to. There's Logic and Pro Tools and Studio One on this system. It's for students to practice mixing and practice production, or if somebody wants to come in and use this system for songwriting and you know, putting together beats or whatever. I mean, that's what this system's for. You know what I mean? Here's the other. This is the other Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K. I'm not really sure the lens it's on there, but it's a short lens, so it's we use this one for close-ups. This is the one that actually sits in front of the talent, and there's a confidence monitor there, so they can see themselves and look. So they're looking like right into the lens there, but they see themselves on the monitor. And again, the bookshelf here has just got it's got a bunch of cool stuff on it. It looks good and everything. It looks great for the if we gotta move this system to where this camera is facing this way, so it would kind of look like this, you know, for a meeting or something, if you wanted to have a meeting and see, you know, whatever. So on this little desk, this is also on wheels. This little desk has another Rodecaster. This is actually the Rodecaster Pro, the first one. This is the MK1, and it's pretty cool as well in its own right. The 2, which is this one, is got some other features which we kind of enjoy, but this one is the OG and it works really well. This thing is it's a workhorse, man. It keeps going. So here's an ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. That's for video switching. You can plug all the cameras in there and then switch them. And this is another ATEM. This is the ATEM Mini Pro. This one is actually in a case which has a monitor built in. This is for portable. We can go out in the field and do things with this one. It can be powered by a battery pack, but generally it's plugged in. But this one goes out in the field a lot, so you don't have to have a big monitor like this one, or you don't have to have big monitors like these. You just go out there and just get out there and get the job done. You know what I mean? So this is one of the lights. This is the, what light is this? This is the Godox SL60W. You guys can see that. There you go. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on that one. There we go. That's the Godox SL60W. Pretty cool light. We do have, this is an Elgato key light. This is the small key light. We have 2 of the regular Elgato key lights. Man, speaking of Elgato, let's talk about this piece of gear right here. This is probably my favorite piece of gear in the whole wide world. This is an Elgato Stream Deck, which, as you can see, I've got buttons that are lit up on there. And as I press these buttons, see, I'm gonna press this one that says my name, and what it does is it puts that on the screen. It puts that out onto the. You guys have seen my videos, and I press these buttons, and if you want to know what my email is, I just press the button. I press the email button, and the email comes up. This thing, these are basically macro buttons. You can basically tell it to. You program the button to do something, and it does whatever it is you tell it to do. And these are set up for this piece of software that you're looking at right here is Ecamm Live. This is the one that I prefer because we do go live. We have clients that do go live, and they like it. So this works really well for live streaming as well as recording. You can record with this as well. So all the courses that I've built for Learn Pro Recording are built with using this software. The buttons are programmed to change scenes and to throw graphics on the screen and overlays and whatever else needs to happen up on there. So the Elgato Stream Deck also can work with imagine it with your DAW. If you guys use Pro Tools, I do use this with Pro Tools sometimes. Imagine something that takes 3 clicks of a button or 3 clicks of a mouse to get done in Pro Tools. You can set it up on your Elgato Stream Deck and hit one button and it does the thing. So this thing is actually, it's so versatile and it's kind of crazy. I get excited talking about it because it is such a cool piece of gear. This is the larger one. This is the extreme version. They have a smaller one that I think is 99 bucks. I'm gonna list it on the list of things that you guys, I'll put a link to things that you guys can list. So you guys can just click the link, check it out. The speaker that we use in here is a Mackie. Yeah, I believe it's a Mackie. Yeah, and it's just a USB. I do have it plugged in with the USB, but it also is a Bluetooth speaker. So you can just, if you want to run your phone, this thing sounds pretty cool. It's got a nice subby thing to it. When we're doing a live thing, if we're doing like a live interview thing, we have to wear headphones because you don't want the speaker on and being picked up by the microphone while the speaker's on to create this loop or feedback loop. There is another monitor in here, and then there's the lovely sign for ES Audio Recording Studios. And but yeah, this room is super versatile. We can move things around in this room and make it be what we need it to be. So this is an overall view of the production system that's here in the podcast production room. It's a 27-inch iMac, the Apple iMac. The conversion is done on an Apollo Twin. That's a quad-core Apollo Twin. It's the older one, but it's still, those sound so great, man. They just sound so good. The speakers in here are the Yamaha HS5s. I bought the HS5s because they're small, they're compact, and I wanted the white ones just to match everything else going on here in the studio. But I tell you what, you know what's holding these little things up, man? Those are little paint cans you can get at Home Depot. Man, it's the perfect height when I'm sitting in the chair. I mean, it just works really well. I think the paint cans were like $2.99 or something like that. It's just ridiculous. The gimbal, here's the gimbal that it's not in use at this time. Of course, you could tell that this thing's moving around quite a bit. But behind the gimbal there is the Elgato teleprompter. It's called the Elgato Prompter. We don't use that often. Sometimes clients want to use a teleprompter. But the gimbal there is large enough that it can handle this camera. This is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K. And that gimbal can handle this camera. Pan around the room one more time, just to show you kind of what's going on around here. This is a lot of the stuff in here. Look, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about any of the stuff, if you want me to, you know, get closer on one of the things or something like that, and let you know if you want to hear it in action or see it in action or whatever, just leave me a comment down below, and I'll make sure we reach out to you and let you know what's going on with some of the stuff. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and we'll talk to you on the other side. So that was the podcast equipment. There's a lot to look at. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to think about, a lot to talk about. Again, you can go download the entire gear list here. Go to learnprorecording.com/gear list. Get that. And if you have any questions on any of the pieces that I kind of touched on in here, if you want to know more about it, let me know in the comments below. And what I can do is I can do like another video, or I can do like a special, I could drop a special video in and show you like kind of how it works. Let's do this throughout the whole month. Okay, if there's any piece of gear that you see, say the Stream Deck, the Elgato Stream Deck. If you want to know more about it and how it works, I can create a video just for you that shows everyone how I use it. Not only how it works. I mean, there's tons of videos on YouTube on how this stuff works. But what I can do is I can share with you how I use it and how I use it in my particular situation, say with Pro Tools or with the streaming software that we use here, the Ecamm Live. So let me know if there's anything in there. Just leave me a comment down below. Hey, while you're down there, go ahead and subscribe, man, while you're down there, because this is fun. We got a lot of stuff coming up throughout the month. Next month, haven't decided what we're doing yet, so I'm not even going to talk to you about it. Man, we're just kicking off September. We're just coming off the holiday from last week. That was fun. You know, the last little thing for summer. You know, it's like the official end to summer is that, you know, all the kids are back in school. Everybody, you know, got the vacations out of the way. Everybody's done with all the stuff. We're getting back to work. So, you know, in the fall too, right after Labor Day, man, the studio kind of picks up. I can see from the calendar, we're starting to book up on the calendar here as well. You know, so hopefully there's still going to be plenty of time to bring you things like this, man. So let me know. Oh, you know what? Since I haven't decided what we're going to do yet in October, let me know in the comments below if there's something that you want me to do, something that you want to see, something that you've been going, oh, I wonder what that looks like. Oh, I wonder how that works. Let me know. You know what I mean? So again, also, oh shoot, I forgot to tell you about build a studio. Go build your own damn studio.
No, look, this is a cool little exercise that comes from one of our courses. It's called the $150,000 Studio Build Challenge, and it is a challenge, man. I'm challenging you to build a studio and to keep your budget at $150K. It's a challenge because there's a lot that you have to think about that maybe you don't think about. You think maybe, oh, I'll just buy a cool ass mic. I'll get a nice little, I get that Apollo Twin, get me a new laptop, boom, got a studio. Not quite. Yes, technically. True, you do, but you kind of want some other things. You might want to, if you're like me, you don't want to have a studio at your house. My studio is not at my home. This is not a home studio. I lease a building. I've got 2,500 square feet of studio here, so I'm good, man. So you might want to have that in your budget. You might want to have in your budget, if you're bringing clients in, man, clients like creature comforts, bro. They like cold waters in the fridge because it's been hot out. Then they like coffee at the same time. So we got chips, we got candies it's just, you got to think about creature comforts. You got to buy a couch. You got to buy a fridge. You got to buy one of them cool ass Keurig coffee makers. It's just, man, there's a lot to think about, a lot to unpack. Go get your $150,000 Studio Build Challenge. It's free. It's not going to cost you anything. Just go grab it out. learnprorecording.com/studio build. Get that, download it, run the challenge, do it. Show me your results. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of the $150,000 Studio Build Challenge. It is tough. It is literally tough to do, and that's why it's one of the exercises in our courses. In one of our courses, it does come from that. So enjoy that, man. It's a lot of fun. So we will see you guys here next week. Well, the blog post is coming on Wednesday as always. Don't forget, if you're on my list, man, you get the email for the Thursday Live. Thursday Lives are fun. I think this week we're talking about accounting and invoicing and things like that for freelance studio owners, freelance audio engineers, freelance music producers, things like that. A lot of, and this comes from people asking me, hey, how do I do this? Hey, how do I write an invoice? Hey, how do I keep track of all my expenses? We're going to talk about that on the Thursday Live this week. So, and we will make that probably we'll probably make that another episode of the podcast here, so we can share with everyone. But if you're on my list, and you get on my list by getting either the gear list, you got to give me your email to get the gear list, or you get the $150,000 challenge, you got to give me your email to get that. Now that you're on my list, you're going to get an email saying, hey, don't forget about the Thursday Live on Thursday. It's fun that we came up with that name, right? Thursday Live is on Thursday. Imagine that. So we'll see you Thursday Live. Next Monday, we're talking about Studio B. We're going to take you over into the next room, and we're going to look at some of the gear. We're going to look at all the gear in Studio B. I'm going to explain what it is, why we have it, what we use it for, why it's there, why I think it's cool, and hopefully you think it's cool as well. So we will see you guys next week. Go forth, man. Have a great week, dude. If you're, if love life, man, love what you do, and it ain't work. It ain't a job, bro. If you love what you do for work, it ain't a job, man. I'm so grateful every day I get to do something that I absolutely love to do. Here I am sitting in a studio, doing stuff and talking to you and getting paid, man. So look, there's a lot going on. So we'll see you guys next week. I'm excited. Studio B is my favorite studio here. Out of the 3 studios that we have, Studio B is my favorite. I'll explain why when we get in there next week. We'll see you guys next Monday. Donnie B, I'm out of here. Peace. Have a great week.